Hi guys, this is Tracy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a puzzle that is sublimated on. So I'm going to use this week's free SVG, which is the Joy Gnome, and I am going to put it on a puzzle that is ready for sublimation that I purchased from Amazon, and of course I will share that link with you guys. This is the digital paper that I'm using, and when they come in to Design Space, when they land on your canvas, they're very large. So I just shrink it down. And I'm actually going to move this to the back, and I'm going to move it out of the way just for a second. And I'm going to bring in a shape that's going to represent the puzzle that I'm going to sublimate on. I'm going to change my dimensions here because I've already measured my puzzle, and I know that my puzzle is, let me look at my notes here, 7.5 inches wide by 5.2 high. Okay, that's the size of my puzzle. I want to lock these dimensions again. And remember, when you're doing sublimation, you want your background to be larger than what your image is that you're going to use. That way you don't have to worry about lining it up perfectly. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring this down a little bit. Okay. I'm going to bring him to the front. Now the reason that I'm using the SVG for this design instead of the PNG is because if I wanted to change any colors, with an SVG you have all your layers here and you could change your colors to whatever you want. If you wanted to change the hat to red or make the snow a different color, you could add a name to this if you wanted to, but that's why I use the SVG when I do sublimation. So I'm going to keep in mind that this is your puzzle back here. So depending on how big you want your design, I don't know if I want the full size here. Okay, and then you're going to get rid of this box because you don't need that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab both of these, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click flatten. So now this is a printable image. Keep in mind your sizes for Design Space. You're going to have to make it a little bit smaller. So let's go back and make sure that that is sized the way that I want it. Make sure it's in the right spot. So this is actually what I have to make smaller. Okay. Highlight both and flatten. Okay, so now we don't have a little warning sign here, so this is a good size. So then from here, we're going to make it. Okay, so now we're going to go print it. And I am going to print from my I have an Epson EcoTank that I have converted into a sublimation printer, and I'll show you the print settings that I use so that the color comes out correct. So you hit continue, and you wait for it to connect. Click send to printer, and we're going to turn the bleed off, system dialog on. Make sure that the correct printer is selected, whichever printer that you're using. This is my correct printer here. And then you're going to hit print. Okay, and then you want to make sure the correct printer is selected up here as well. Preferences. I'm going to choose Premium Presentation Paper Matte. Quality is high. And you want to go to More Options. And we want to put the mirror image on, turn the high speed off. Custom. Advanced. This screen right here will pop up, and we want to change this to color controls, Adobe RGB. This right here will stay the same. You're going to come down here to brightness, and you're going to make this 9. Contrast we're going to take to 7. Saturation is going to go to 15. And your density is going to go to 4. Now keep in mind when you do this, if you're making multiples, every time you come to use your printer, you need to change this every time. It doesn't remember your settings. So click OK. Again, check to make sure that you have the correct printer selected. OK. Yep. And then you're going to hit print. And this is going to go ahead and print from your sublimation printer. And then I will show you how we apply that to the puzzle. My heat press is warming up to 400 degrees. We're going to press it for 60 seconds, and I'll show you once we get there. Okay, so here's the print. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut off this black right here. I'm actually going to try and stay on this border out here. It helps to line up since this is so light on here. Just keep in mind, remember with your sublimation paper, when it prints out, it's going to be a lot lighter than how it's going to show up once you put it on the product that you're using. So I cut off all those. You can use heat tape if you want to. I'm going to use adhesive spray. That seems to work best for me. I'm just going to go ahead and put just a little bit on here. This is the spray that I'm using. And I'm going to do it over my trash can. So I left my trash can here so you guys can see. I'm not using a whole lot. Just a little. The puzzles come in plastic paper or plastic wrap. I'm going to go ahead and take that out of there, but I'm going to keep the backing on there. I'm going to leave that on as I press it. So this is what the backing looks like. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a little sandwich and I'm going to press this real quick. My heat press is at 400 degrees. And I'm just going to fold this in here and just give it just a quick press. Okay. Now that I have this sprayed already, this I'm going to put down here and I'm going to line my puzzle up over it. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, try and get it the way you want. Okay, now I've made a sandwich with my butcher paper. I'm going to take this and I'm going to close it and then I'm going to flip it over so that the print is at the top. And then I'm going to hold this down and I'm going to close it for 60 seconds. Okay, this is getting close to being done. I take my heat glove and set it on top and push down as I pull this up so that there's no ghosting. Pull that up, and then remember, this is very hot. And here's our finished puzzle. If you guys can see it, I'll get a better shot of it in a minute here. Here it is.